Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is October 3rd, 2024, and we now know the official date of the General Assembly. Also, Barcelona are still working on the renewal of the academy players, despite renewing several just a few weeks ago. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps the channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to hit the Goal Kits, Kit Bag, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to hit the Bet Us. All links are down below in the description. And now I begin this video with the news that we now have the official date for the Ordinary General Assembly. And it's a date I had mentioned in previous videos, but now it has been confirmed, which is October 19th, 2024. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Joan Laporta and the board of directors will hold a General Assembly with the club delegates on October 19th, 2024, where Laporta and his board of directors will present the results of the previous fiscal year, the 2023-2024 fiscal year results, and of course the budget forecast for this current 2024-2025 fiscal year. Of course, I did go over the highlights of both budgets in a previous podcast. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. But Laporta and his board will go into those two, or go with more detail into both budgets. And of course, he will have to present actual proof, statements, documents, all kinds of proof to show how Barcelona are doing financially, how much money they've spent, how much money they've made, what kind of profit they made last year, and of course for this current year, how much money is expected to be made, how much money is expected to be spent, and how much profit is expected to be made at the end of this fiscal year. Now, another big topic that will come up during the General Assembly is of course the Nike contract, whereas I reported in a previous video, Barcelona and Nike have reportedly finished the negotiations, everything is done, and it's expected that Laporta could announce during the General Assembly this news, and maybe we might see a special signing ceremony after the General Assembly where the Nike contract could be finally signed. And once that happens, of course, we will achieve the 1-to-1 rule. Now, that General Assembly will be held virtually or telematically, and this has upset a lot of club members, including those who are planning to run against Joan Laporta, because they were in favor of a in-person General Assembly, and a lot of them are accusing Laporta of trying to, hide behind, a camera or behind a screen, and they think that this is not cool because they're not going to be able to ask as many questions as possible. But Joan Laporta, of course, has responded to these accusations that he's just trying to hide the ball by saying the following: "We think that the Ordinary General Assembly, being telematic, will be more participatory, and we believe that it will be better considering the state of the club's facilities." So that's Joan Laporta's reason for holding it telematically. He's saying it's the state of the club's facilities. They're not ready. Some of them are being renovated, and there's other ones who are available but apparently are not as big as he would like it. So instead, he prefers to hold it virtually. I don't know which side on the argument you fall, whether you think it's better in person, better virtually. Either way, I'm very excited for this General Assembly because, of course, again, Laporta, board of directors, are going to present the state of the club in a lot of detail, and I can't wait to hear what they have to say. And of course, I will be covering it, so we'll make a special video. So stay tuned to the channel so you get to know with more detail what the state of the club is. Now, Joan Laporta was present at the Johan Cruyff Foundation's Open Day, where he was asked questions about several topics, and of course, he did address the biggest one of them, which is the work of Hansi Flick and also the demands of the calendar. Now, this is what the Barcelona president had to say. Flick is not looking for excuses. The injuries are a problem, but he is coping very well. Some important players are recovering, and we are waiting for the return of De Jong, who has already played a few minutes. Fermin, Dani Olmo, and Gabi. The calendar forces us to have competitive and wide squads. I think that the incorporation of players from the youth team is giving good results. Flick is doing an extraordinary job. He knew what he had, and he is managing it very well. I cannot agree more with Joan Laporta because yes, Hansi Flick is not looking for excuses. He came to the club knowing the situation. He knew that whatever players he had, that's what he had to work with, that there's no money to be making big signings or star signings. He was okay with that. And well, that's exactly what he's doing. He's working with what he has and he's getting great results from what he has. And he's not looking for excuses because even what he had started to get injured, he pulled players out of the academy and continued to make the team work. And that's one of the reasons why I'm extremely happy that the German coach is our current Barcelona coach. Now, Joan Laporta was also asked about why was Hansi Flick hired as the Barcelona coach, and this is what the Barcelona president had to say. Our director of football brought him in, and the sporting committee decided that he had to be our coach. Deco had already told me that he was confident that it would work well, and that a new impetus had to be given. It was decided that Hansi Flick would be the one, and Hansi knows that the best times for Barca are when we have had a lot of players in the squad. He is a student of Barca. He is passionate. So Joan Laporta explained that the reason for hiring Flick was that, well, Deco brought him, presented him to the sporting committee. The sporting committee were very happy, and that before even that, Deco had already told Laporta that he thought that bringing Flick would be a good idea. And well, it seems that Deco was correct because it has been a good idea where Flick has been doing a marvelous job turning things around with the first team. Now, we also know that, of course, Joan Laporta has always been a fan of Flick. In fact, he was one of the coaches that he had considered hiring when Joan Laporta was running as a candidate. So I'm sure here Laporta just being humble, putting it, giving Deco the entire credit for the hiring of Flick. But we know that Laporta also wanted Flick since day one because Xavi was never Joan Laporta's first choice. Remember that. He later brought him on because all the coaches he was trying to get were simply not available. Now, speaking of academy players, since Joan Laporta mentioned academy players when talking about Flick, we do have to talk about Pau Prim because his future is currently uncertain at Barcelona. Now, that 18-year-old defensive midfielder's contract expires during this summer in 2025. Of course, Pau Prim is one of the most promising young talents to come out of the academy. He's currently a key figure in Barca Athletic. In fact, he is Barca Athletic captain. And of course, Barcelona don't want to miss out on this talent whose contract expires in a few months. And therefore, they have been in negotiations with Pau Prim to extend his contract. But unfortunately, these negotiations have been slow and these negotiations have stalled. So far, Barcelona have been unable to reach a deal with Pau Prim. Now, it's reported that the reason why these negotiations are going slow because Pau Prim has his doubt about staying because, of course, he thought that maybe he would be the next midfielder or defensive midfielder to come out of the academy and play the first team. He has seen that Marc Bernal, a 17-year-old, someone who's much younger than him, has leaped over him. And then when Bernal got injured, he thought maybe it's my chance now. Then boom, Casado is the next one up. And even then, we even seen Eric Garcia playing in defensive midfield position. So Pau Prim now, he has his doubts, are they going to actually play me in the first team? Or are they going to actually use me when they've already elected to choose Bernal, Casado, and Eric Garcia over me? And as such, the negotiations have been going slow. And with some reports saying that they've even stalled. Now, Pau Prim does have the same agency that's representing him as the one that represented Marc Guiu, who ended up leaving Chelsea. We'll see whether that will play a role or not. Hopefully not, because I would hate to miss out on Pau Prim. But unfortunately, that's what it's like when your academy is consistently making great players. You cannot keep all of them because, of course, they all have ambition of playing in the first division. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be uploading another video in a few moments, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.